Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope you all guys can hear me, see the screen properly. Is everything fine on the chat box? Is everything clear and fine? Yes, good morning, Shraddha. Is everything clear and fine? Yes, Arjun. Yes, good morning, Shraddha. Everything clear and fine? Yes. So, this is one of the boring chapter. Okay, we can easily get high marks. At the same time, it can give us a chance for losing of marks also. Okay, because the human health and disease, which was actually the continuation of your class 9th CBSE syllabus. Okay, so today in today's class we will be discussing about the introduction, definition about health and diseases. Can we start? Is there anyone? Is there anyone? Yes? Thank you so much. So this is a brand new chapter of human health and disease, and those who haven't yet not subscribed our channel, don't forget to subscribe it right now. So this is our amazing Telegram group at BioPoint New for Neet batch students where we conduct regular discussion, polls, quizzes, updates on our classes and daily OMR examination. Everything will be conducted in this discussion group. So starting with the chapter Human Health and Diseases. Human health and diseases. So actually what do you mean by health? What do you mean by health? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being of an organism and not merely an absence of a disease or infirmity. So, a person can be called as physically active or healthy if he is not active. So we all be thinking that if a particular person is free from diseases, if a particular person is free from diseases, he is healthy. No, we cannot say that. If he is suffering from a mental depression, from a high amount of depression, all these things is not tell what we cannot tell that that particular person is healthy. Okay, so we can say only that a particular person is healthy when he is in a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. So he should be physically, mentally, and socially well-being. Clear? Next, there are certain factors which affect the health. There are certain factors which affect the health. The health is mainly affected by these factors. First one is the genetic disorders. For example, the cell mutation, the gene mutation, chromosomal mutation or changes can lead to certain genetic disorders. Am I audible? Can lead to genetic disorders which can affect our normal health. Second one is the infection. For example, it can be of any kind of infection. For example, infectious agents can, that is a bacteria, but the microbes can be fungi, virus, diseases is there, protozoan diseases is also there. So bacterial disease, fungal disease, viral disease and protozoan diseases also. We can see all these different things. Clear? In the chapter microbes in human welfare also we studied that microbes does not only refer to bacteria, but those microbes can either be fungi, virus or protozoan. What is actually the term microbe refers to? It can be anything that can affect our health. Okay. So another one factor that affects the health is the change in the lifestyle. For example, food quality of life, lifestyle, can all affect our health. Clear? Clear? For example, nowadays the people are feeding on junk food, bakery items, bakery items. So junk food, bakery item, all these things can contribute to what? Change in the lifestyle of an organism. Third one is the conditions necessary for good health. What are the main conditions that are necessary for good health? What are the factors which affect the health in the slide where we are discussing about the conditions that are necessary for a good health? That is, there should be good physical and social environment, a good physical and social environment, good economic condition, social equality and harmony. The important Neet questions I'll be highlighting all these things are the introduction. This class is all about introduction, but there are certain questions which may come for your exam. So at that particular time, I will highlight in the point and tell you. So conditions necessary for good health, good physical and social environment, good economic condition, social equality and harmony. These are some of the factors that affect or that are necessary for good health. Next is, what are the conditions for good health? Conditions for good health. First one is a vaccination. First one is the vaccination. So we have already studied or we know about certain kinds of vaccine. For example, BCG, DPT, MMR, TT. So all these things are different types of vaccine that we are familiar with. For example, BCG taken against to prevent tuberculosis, DPT, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, measles, mumps, rubella, tetanus, typhoid. Yes, Shivani, good morning. So these are some of the vaccines that we have already being injected with regular schedule for vaccination. For example, at the second week of birth, we should be injected with so and so vaccine. During 10 years, we have to inject with so and so like that. Yes, Dela, good morning. One of the important chapters, okay? We are moving on to the important topics. Okay, so listen carefully. If you have any doubt, just clarify right now. Study along with this. Okay, I have just made every point in a capsule-like manner along with mind maps and charts and everything. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please clarify it right now and go. Don't keep it for a further reference. Next one is the regular exercise. One of the main factor that affects our health is exercise. Or else, one of the important that is by eating of junk food, bakery items, etc., we are becoming obese, right? So regular exercise is one of the way by which we can maintain a good health. Control of vectors. Control of vector, for example, the mosquito is one of the main and the common vector. What is actually vector? Vector means the carrier of disease. Okay, it is not causing any disease, but it actually carries the organism from one person, one healthy person to a diseased person, or from a diseased person to a healthy person through the blood or whatever. Okay, so mosquito is one of the common microbial vectors. So by controlling the stagnant water, by by controlling the amount of stagnant water or will not allow increase in the number of vectors. Next one is the personal hygiene. So we have to be personally hygiene. Personal hygiene is important. Social hygiene is also important. Okay, social hygiene, that is the hygiene of our surrounding, is too equally important as our personal hygiene. Next one is a balanced diet. We know about certain different nutrients, for example, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, all roughage. All these things are different kinds of nutrients present in a balanced diet. So we have to constitute such a kind of a food that contains almost all the quantity of nutrients in the correct proportion. Yoga, then the proper disposal of waste, one of the most important factor that leads to good health, proper disposal. Because if we are not disposing the waste properly, it can be a breeding ground. It can become a breeding ground for the microbial action. Next one, we have to feed upon only hygienic food and water resources. So hygienic food and water resources is one of the important factors that contributes to what conditions for good health. Clear? Next one, disease. What is actually disease? Mind influences the immune system. In we studied about what, so globulins can be antibodies which prevents the body from contracting infectious or any kind of disease. This immune system can function through neural and endocrine system and health. When the function is affected, that is happening when a particular organ or an organ system is affected or it's not functioning properly, then you will call it as a disease. Next, this is one of the important frequently repeated question for your NEET exam based directly on your NCRT. Can you hear me now? 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 I don't know up to which time it will keep on going. I don't this. Please, when it is, please inform me. Okay? Is it fine now? If it is fine now, give me hearts on the screen. Yes. Whenever it is going wrong, please inform. Okay? Whenever my voice is going to becoming cracking, please inform me. Yes, back to the class. So, the good humor hypothesis was proposed by Hippocrates and the Indian Ayurveda system. Okay? So, what do you mean by good humor hypothesis? What does this statement mean? 12th board, one mark question can be asked. It states that health is a state of a body and mind when there is a balance of certain humors inside the body. So, what is actually the humor? Humor refers to fluid present inside our body. The fluid present inside our body can be called it as the fluid. For example, what are the different kinds of fluid? The blood, the lymph, then the other fluids present over in the body. When those things are in a correct balanced state, you can call them as the good humor hypothesis. For example, the persons with a yellow bile belongs to hot personality. So actually, those days they were telling that those persons who possess a yellow bile pigment will be having a hot personality. That is, they will be definitely a angrily persons. They will get angry very easily. Okay, they will get angry very easily. That is, your hot personalities and would have fevers. And the person who disapproved the good humor hypothesis was a William Harvey. Disapproved this hypothesis when he discovered the flow of blood. He is the person who discovered the double circulation of blood, right? In the circulatory system we studied about this, right? So, the William Harvey disapproved this hypothesis. He discovered that the blood circulation and demonstrated that the normal body temperature in persons with black bile using a thermometer. So, this is the Hippocrates. This is the William Harvey. Is it everything fine going now? Thank you so much. So this is the thing, that is good humor hypothesis proposed by Hippocrates, disapproved by William Harvey. Clear? Next one. Yes. Next one. Next we are going to study about. Please take a screenshot, everybody. Please everyone take a screenshot of the disease causing agents. What are the different kinds of disease causing agents? Have everyone taken? Because these can be used as your mind maps. You can use all these things as your mind maps when you study this chapter. I hope you have taken. Yes. So, the disease causing agents. First one, deficiency of nutrients. I'll reduce the size. First one is the deficiency of nutrients. What do you mean? What is the kind of diseases that is caused by the deficiency of nutrients known as deficiency of nutrients, deficiency diseases, right? Deficiency diseases. So there are certain deficiency diseases which can be caused due to the deficiency of certain nutrients such as minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and vitamins. Sorry. Next is the mechanical agents. Next is the mechanical agents. Mechanical agent means there is a use of a vector. A vector is needed over there. That is, for example, a vector means an animal that carries a pathogen from one host to the another. Mechanical agents are those vectors of animals that carry pathogen or the microorganism from one host to the other. Third one, there are certain physical agents for the cause of diseases also. There are certain physical agents such as heat, cold, humidity, pressure, radiation. All these things can also cause different kinds of diseases. Next one is the chemical agents. Chemical agents, for example, urea, uric acid. Urea is formed in which organ in the inside our body? Urea is formed inside the liver, and human beings are mainly ureotelic organism. We have studied about it. Ureotelic organism, and they are formed in the body, and the pollutants present in the atmosphere are also chemical agents. One of the most important agents associated, that is the biological agent, for example viruses, bacteria, fungi, and protozoan are the different kinds of biological agents that cause diseases. Give me thumbs up on the chat box if clear with this particular slide. Clear, everyone? The disease causing agents, we have nutrient deficiency diseases, mechanical agents that cause diseases, physical agents that cause diseases, chemical agents that cause diseases, and biological agents that cause diseases. Yes. Everybody take a screenshot right now. I hope Shraddha is making the PDF. If yes, it's really useful. I hope you can see the writings on the screen also very clearly, because all these things I have typed it. Okay. That's why depending upon the typing, it just depends upon whether you can be able to see or not. Okay, because it's one of the most important chapter and I wanted to include most of the things in a very easy and manner for you to study. Okay, so very important slide. So we have to expect 100 percentage direct MCQ question. Which one of the following is a bacterial disease? Which one of the following is a viral disease which is caused by mites? Scabies is a disease caused by dash. So different twisting, tricking kinds of question can come from this area. Clear? Yes. Moreover, if you are really aspiring for a medical profession, this thing, there is no life of a doctor without these names, these terms. Okay, let's move on with the terms. First, we are going to discuss about the diseases that are caused by virus. Guys, here I am telling the name only. I am not going to tell the organism that causes it. I am not going to tell its symptoms or anything, because we have to study about all these diseases in detail one by one. Okay, we'll be discussing 2 or 3 diseases in today's class, and after in the next class we'll continue with the other topics also. So, some of the diseases that are caused by virus is the common cold, influenza, measles, mumps, poliomyelitis, rabies, smallpox, chickenpox, yellow fever, AIDS are some of the diseases that are caused by virus. Clear? One by one you have to tell me yes or no. Viral diseases, are you clear? Common cold, influenza, measles, mumps, polio, rabies, smallpox, chickenpox, yellow fever, AIDS. Please use some kind of an alphabetical code and then please study about it. Okay, because very important. These are some of the things which are mentioned in your NCRT. So at least by heart these terms. Second one is the bacterial disease. Second one is the bacterial disease. Cholera, typhoid. I'll use another set of color. Okay. Second one is the bacterial disease. For example, cholera, typhoid, tuberculosis, tetanus, diphtheria, pneumonia, syphilis, gonorrhea, leprosy. So all these things are different kinds of a bacterial disease. Among them, syphilis and gonorrhea are STDs. I hope you know the full form of STDs. STDs means what? Sexually transmitted diseases which are caused by bacteria. While AIDS is a STD or a sexually transmitted disease which is caused by what? AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease that is caused by virus. Okay, name the bacterial disease that is caused. Name one bacterial STD that is caused. Okay, then you have to tell syphilis or gonorrhea will be there in the option, so you can click for any of them. Next, third one we are going to discuss about. The third topic we are going to discuss about is the rickets. Rickets. Rickets or what? It can cause typhus fever, tick fever, etc. Typhus fever, tick fever, we have in detail about it. Next, we have the protozoa. This is not important. Okay. Questions will not be coming from this. I'll be telling the area. Viral disease important, bacterial disease important, next protozoa. Malaria, amoebic dysentery, sleeping sickness. Protozoan diseases very important. Fungal diseases, ringworm, athlete's foot, very important. Next we have worms, that is Filaria, Ascariasis, pinworm, cysticercosis. Last one, mites, that is scabies. So among this, the things that mainly you have to study is the viruses, bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and worms. Clear? 5 things: viruses, bacteria, protozoa, fungi, worms. You have to study, and those are the things which we are going to discuss in detail. Guys, is everything fine and perfect clear? Is the voice okay? Video, screen okay? Yes, everyone. Thank you so much. Next, we are moving on with the types of diseases. What are the different kinds of diseases is the topic that we are going to discuss now. So I hope you know about this because this was one of the easiest topic which we were constantly studying from the lower classes onwards. First is the communicable disease. First we have the communicable disease. Second one, non-communicable disease, and last one is the genetic disorders. Communicable disease means they are the infectious diseases. What do you mean by infectious disease or communicable disease? They can be spread from one person to another easily through contact. Easily through contact, they can be transmitted from one person to another. The disease are caused by certain agents such as bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoan, worms, etc. They can easily spread from a diseased person to a healthy person. Clear? Clear about communicable disease, everybody? Common cold, easily transmitted through the water droplets coming out of our mouth. Clear? Communicable diseases, everyone? Is it clear? Yes. Next is non-communicable diseases. What do you mean by non-communicable diseases? Non-infectious diseases. These are all the basic topic. What is it? These are all the basic topic. Neet paper you will not see any question from all these areas. Okay, the higher areas only you will tell. So non-infectious means they cannot spread. They will not spread from one infected person to a healthy person. For example, cancer, diabetes, cardiac diseases, all these things will not spread from one person to another. Okay, for example, deficiency, all the deficiency diseases, scurvy, kwashiorkor, marasmus, rickets, night blindness, all these things will not be transmitted from one person to another through contact or whatever. It can be sometimes all these deficiency diseases can be inherited. Clear? Clear, everyone? The last one is the genetic disorders. We will be studying about this in the chapter molecular basis, not molecular basis. We will be studying about the cause genetics. In the chapter genetics, the second unit, we will be discussing more about this. Yes? So, congenital disease. What do you mean by congenital disease? What do you mean by congenital? The term congenital means at the time of birth. At the time of birth. So, the genetic disorders, for example, the diseases that are caused by a particular phenomenon which is known as mutation or changes in the chromosome or gene, congenital, that is, they may be present at the time of birth itself. They could be due to certain genetic abnormality or due to malfunctioning of any organ or a particular system. You might have heard, you might have seen the images of certain children, genetic disorders. For example, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, after the bomb explosion, all the children, this generation also, they are what giving birth or they are being born with certain mutated genes in their body which causes the genetic disorders. Have you seen the images? Autistic child, all these things, genetic disorders. I hope you might have seen in the images or in a film or whatever. Okay, because these are nowadays becoming a common thing. So this is all the three communicable diseases, infectious, non-infectious and congenital disease or the genetic diseases. Next slide. Moving on to the first type of disease, that is the typhoid. Moving on to the first type of disease, that is the typhoid. Typhoid is caused by a pathogen named Salmonella typhi. Once again, pathogen is Salmonella typhi. Clear? Important. From this slide onwards, we are beginning with the Neet MCQ question. Neet MCQ. Neet MCQ number 1 of this slide. The pathogen that causes or the organism that causes typhoid, Salmonella typhi. Next, the mode of transmission. Sometimes, guys, if we have a bad luck, they can ask you like a question like this also. One of the following are some of the modes of transmission of a particular kinds of disease. Identify the kind of disease. Sorry, or else they can ask you in between Malayalam also came, right? So, or else they can ask you for the following are the modes of transmission of a particular disease. Name the pathogen that causes that kind of a disease. For example, number 1, spreads through contaminated water and food. It enters small intestine through food and water and migrates to other parts of the body through blood. Name the disease or name the pathogen that causes this disease. It is Salmonella typhi, or it is an example, or that disease they are aiming towards is the typhoid. So typhoid mainly spreads through contaminated water and food. Contaminated food and water, and it enters, the pathogen enters the small intestine, and through the small intestine only they will gain its entry to all other parts of the body. Next one is the main symptoms which are carried along with this typhoid. First one is the sustained high fever. When we are caught with typhoid, we will be having a sustained high fever, having a temperature 39 to 40 degrees Celsius, headache, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, loss of appetite, intestinal perforation and death. Intestinal perforation, main symptom of typhoid. MCQ question. Guys, whenever you read it, these symptoms may appear common to all these headache, fever, chill, loss of appetite, constipation, all these things, all these other symptoms may appear common to you, because all the kinds of diseases may having one or the other kind of that type of a symptom. Intestinal perforation, typhoid. By that, using that particular keyword, intestinal perforation, you can note down that this is a symptom of typhoid which is caused by Salmonella typhi. Okay. For example, look, loss, poor appetite, headache, diarrhea, stomach pain, muscle ache, sweating, dry cough, feeling sick. So all these things are one or the other symptoms of typhoid. 500 percentage important question. 500 percentage direct MCQ question for your NEET exam. The diagnosis of typhoid. The diagnosis of typhoid is done by the Widal test. 100 percentage guaranteed direct MCQ for you guys. Okay, for NEET exam, direct MCQ, Widal test used for the confirmation of typhoid. Agglutination test is also there, but mainly we have the Widal test. Agglutination test detects the antibody present in the blood plasma against two antigens of Salmonella bacterium. Guys, very important. I'm telling, please mark it. I'm telling that much importance to this particular slide. Widal test, sure short question. The time before you have born, this might be a newspaper cutting about the typhoid Mary, who was an extraordinary woman of New York. Clear? What is he did? Why is she famous for? Because Mary Malone was a name. A lady named Mary Malone is known as Typhoid Mary, was an Irish American cook. Why is the person named Mary Malone connected with a name of a disease? Why is she known as Typhoid Mary? I'll tell you. The Mary Malone is also known as Typhoid Mary was because let's move to a story first. She was an Irish American cook. Okay, she was an Irish American cook, but she didn't know what she get caught of this disease, that is typhoid, but she was unaware about its symptoms. Her body does not show the symptoms of typhoid but spread the disease while working as a cook in the New York City through the food she cooked. She was a carrier of typhoid causing bacteria. Clear? Guys, actually she also didn't know how it happened, but she didn't show any kind of symptoms like headache, fever, constipation, loss of appetite, intestinal perforation or anything, but she was carrying the typhoid bacteria Salmonella. Okay, so as she is a cook, she cooks food through the and the main reason that we studied also is that the typhoid virus, not typhoid virus, typhoid bacteria spreads through food, contaminated food and water. So she is a cook, so the bacteria can well survive in the food she cooked. So through the food, it came to the intestine of all the person who bought that particular food and eat it. Clear? So that's why she is known as the Mary Malone, came to be known as the Typhoid Mary, because she just contaminated the whole New York with the food she cooked with the typhoid bacteria. Second one is the pneumonia. Second disease is the pneumonia. Pneumonia also bacterial disease. Pneumonia also bacterial disease. COVID. viral disease, pneumonia, bacterial disease, typhoid, bacterial disease. So there are two pathogens. That is, first one, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae. Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae are the two different kinds of pathogen that causes the pneumonia. Mode of transmission: inhaling the droplets or aerosol released by an infected person. Guys, okay, Shraddha, no issue. Inhaling the droplets or aerosol released by the infected person, sharing glasses and utensils with an infected person, sharing glass and utensils with an infected person, and the mode of transmission is inhaling the droplets or aerosol released by an infected person, sharing glasses and utensils with an infected person. Clear? Clear? Clear, everyone? Next is the symptom. The respiratory problem, fever, chill, cough, headache. In severe cases, a key point, the lips and the fingernails turn grayish to bluish in color. Okay, Shivani. Okay. So, guys, the lips and the fingernails turn gray to bluish in color is one of the key symptom of this particular disease or this particular disease. Let me check how many slides are left out. Yes, we have 4 more. Yes, Nila, should I continue with it or should I postpone it to the next class? We have just 4 more. Should I continue it? Because these are the 3 things which I have to tell in each of the 4 slides. Pathogen, mode of transmission and the symptoms. Should I continue? Tell me fast. Okay, thank you so much. Easy one. Okay, easy slides. I'll complete it fastly. Next is the common cold, which is a viral infection. Common cold, which is also known as the viral infection of nose and throat. The pathogen that causes the viral disease is the rhinovirus. Okay, so the pathogen causing the common cold is the rhinovirus. This is a viral disease, as already mentioned. The mode of transmission: inhaling the droplets resulting from cough or sneezes through contaminated objects, pencil, book, mobile, and accessory. By touching the person, we'll also get this kind of a virus. Rhinovirus can enter into our body. Important keyword over here: nasal congestion and discharge, fever, headache, sore throat, cough, hoarseness, tiredness are the normal symptoms associated with the general fever also. So the keyword: nasal congestion and discharge, running nose and sneezing. Okay. So whenever we are getting any kind of a fever, is it a viral fever or whatever kind of fever, we have to cover our mouth and nose when we are sneezing or coughing in order to prevent the spread of diseases to much persons. Clear? Rhinovirus: inhaling droplets from the cough and sneezes and contaminated objects, nasal congestion and discharge accumulated with fever, headache, loss of appetite, etc. Next disease is the amoebiasis. Next disease is the amoebiasis. What do you mean by amoebiasis? It is caused by a pathogen Entamoeba histolytica. Is it a bacterium, fungi, protozoan, or a virus? Nila, tell me on the chat box, or anybody watching, tell me on the chat box. Entamoeba histolytica, is it a protozoan, bacteria, virus, or a fungi? Yes, tell me, I'll read it after that. So, the pathogen Entamoeba histolytica spreads through housefly. So the vector over in this disease is very important. Vector, just give a guess. Just give a guess for this question. This is your question. Houseflies are the mechanical carriers or the vectors of this particular disease of amoebiasis. They are transmitted, what these houseflies transmits the parasite, protozoan, bacteria, virus, what? It is a entamoeba histolytica. It is a protozoan, right? Amoeba is a protozoan. Clear? So entamoeba histolytica, protozoan causing disease is amoebiasis. So they transmit the parasite from feces to the food and water. So the flies will sit on the fecal matter of the infected person and they will transmit the the parasite from those areas and will contaminate our food and water. Symptoms are constipation, abdominal pains, cramps, stools with excess of blood and blood clots. Key point. MCQ question. Done? Yes, thank you so much. Next is the Ascaris. Ascaris is the organism, Ascariasis is the disease. Ascariasis is a disease. The pathogen is Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides you might have seen in your laboratories regarding the female and the male. The male, the end is curved. You will have the end of the male Ascaris is actually curved towards inside, while the female is longer without any particular turns. Okay, but the end of the male is actually curved towards the inside region. Clear? Clear, everyone? Yes. The mode of transmission: soil, water, vegetables, fruits contaminated with feces containing egg of parasite. Guys, the soil, when we are touching the soil, when we are playing with the soil, all these, the flies that sit on the soil and sit on the food item, they will, the egg of these Ascaris lumbricoids will easily contaminate our food and water. Okay. The important symptom is the internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, Ascaris lumbricoids, Ascariasis anemia, blockage of intestinal passage. Keyword MCQ question. Keyword MCQ. Clear? So it is the intestine. In the intestine, you will see the Ascaris, and the egg of the Ascaris will give rise to the Ascaris lumbricoids. Clear? The last disease that we are going to discuss in today, it is the filariasis. Filariasis, the other name is elephantiasis. Filariasis or elephantiasis, caused by Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malai. These two are the filarial worms. 20-25 times repeated MCQ question. 20-25 times repeated MCQ question. Okay. Wuchereria bancrofti, Wuchereria malai, filarial worms. Very important, it is caused or spread by the bite of the female mosquito. Female Culex mosquito, very important. Female Anopheles mosquito, it is malaria. Female Culex mosquito, filariasis or elephantiasis, Wuchereria bancrofti or Wuchereria malai. The filarial worms, after entering our body, they live in the lymphatic vessel. They live in the lymphatic vessel, usually in the lower limbs. It causes the chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live for many years. The limbs and the genital organs even may get deformed because of this particular worm-like organism. So filarial worm, it is a filarial worm, a disease which is caused by a worm. It directly enters the lymph nodes or the lymphatic vessels and thereby causing a spreading. Clear? So that is all about the filariasis also, and these are different things about the introduction. We have discussed about certain questions also. As I told you, this is one of the most important chapters, so there is a lot of things to discuss. This is only a very small portion. Okay, very small portion. Clear? So we studied about filariasis. ascariasis, amoebiasis, common cold, pneumonia, typhoid, about the typhoid diagnostic test, then the typhoid pathogen symptom, etc., communicable, non-communicable genetic disorders, pathogens, very important table, 500 percentage direct questions, disease causing agents, good humor hypothesis, what is disease, conditions for good health, conditions necessary for good health, affection of health, and last one is the health and the. So all these are the different things that we have studied in today's class. Okay. Yes, biodiversity I'll be taking with a separate lecture. Okay, biodiversity definitely I'll be taking. So this is our topic for the day, and next class will be on the life cycle of plasmodium. Life cycle of plasmodium is our next day's topic. Clear? This will be our next day's topic. I have prepared everything. Have prepared everything. The chart, the everything I have prepared. Okay. So soon, tomorrow, we'll be coming out with the life cycle of the plasmodium also. So bye bye guys. See you in the next class.